We will engage our viewers through the use of this public information. All videos, songs, and graphics used in the video belong to their respective owners. I claim ownership of all produced video content on this channel and video. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke so bad. HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to HeSpoke Fashion Live. I'm your host, Daylon Thomas, and we have a great show in store for you on tonight. Go ahead and hit that like and share. Tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that we're here live, and we want to jump right into this. Listen, I know you've had a long week, and we're coming to you on Saturday night tonight instead of Friday night because just like you, I was taken aback by everything that was going on in this country. I'm telling you, and I just returned from the DMV area, and I'm telling you, there's a lot going on there. But let's talk fashion. Let's get away from that. Let's talk fashion. I want you to disconnect from everything that's going around you in terms of politics, and let's just talk fashion. And so specifically on tonight, we're going to talk about the topic, did you catch what Matt did? That's right. We're talking about The Bachelor Season 25. It premiered this week, and I'm telling you, I am a fan of Matt James. Matt James impressed me. Yes, I said it. Matt James impressed me. And he did something that was phenomenal. And let me tell you, let me set this up. We had a lot of things to unpack tonight, a short time to do it. But let me tell you, Matt James impressed me. He impressed me so much. First of all, Matt had the opportunity to meet, I believe it was 35 women, 35 beautiful butterflies. Yes, Matt had the opportunity to meet these women. And let me tell you, it was challenging. But there was a time when Matt, of course, he met the women individually. He greeted them. Some came in limousines. Some came in pickup trucks. Some came in other vehicles. But nevertheless, Matt had a chance to greet each and every one of them. And I was impressed, again, not just by that, because, listen, any man in that situation, it would be a challenge. And then for the women, let me say this. It would be a challenge if every woman had on the same type of outfit. No one wore pants. All of them had gowns. But nevertheless, Matt had the opportunity here to do something great. And Matt had an opportunity when he met with all of the women together. And I remember watching the scene and how they set it up, and they were all in the room together. And Matt walks in and they're cheering, Matt, 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 Matt. And Matt walks in and he's, overwhelmed a bit. Any man would be in that case. Nevertheless, I want you to know what Matt did. Did you catch what he did? Matt said a prayer to start everything off. Oh my goodness, I was so impressed by the fact that he started his journey off with prayer. Let me tell you, that impressed me. Let me appeal to my brothers that's watching that. If your daughter, come on, dads with girls. I'm a dad. I'm a father with 2 daughters. If my daughters would, their potentials, if they would have come to me and they came to me and greeted me and said, I'm really interested in your daughter. And by the way, can we start off with a prayer? Oh my God, I would be so impressed by that. And Matt was impressed. He impressed me with that. Did you catch that? He impressed me the way he started off. But let me tell you, that's not the only thing. Did you catch what else Matt did? Well, let me set this up. First of all, again, we were talking on the last show. The last show was, would the Bachelor choose you? And we talked about creating a vibe, right? We said you have to create a vibe. And what is a vibe? A vibe is a general feeling that you get from a person or place. So the right vibe. And let me tell you, these women, they tried different antics to be able to create the right vibe, different gimmicks to create the right vibe with Matt. But again, it's a general feeling that you get from a person or a place. And we told you two things last week that you have to have in order to create the vibe. First of all, we said that you had to dress well. And let me tell you, dressing well is its own reward, right? Because you feel good when you look good. Come on. Give me some likes there. Give me some hearts. Give me some hand claps. You feel good when you dress good. And so dressing well should be something that you always try to do. But there were several women that were dressing well. They all had on gowns. It was beautiful. Again, the beautiful butterflies that were there. Some fared a little bit better than others in terms of dressing well. But secondly, we told you that you had to put forth an effort. Yes, we men love when we can tell that you put forth an effort in your sense of fashion. It shows a little bit of pride about yourself, that you have some pride when you dress well and you put forth an effort. Listen, we all aren't on the same budgets. Some of us can shop a little bit more, but you have to make an effort to look good in whatever you put on. Did you just catch that? With whatever you put on. So listen here. Matt then he had all of these beautiful butterflies to choose from, but Matt had to choose out of that group his potentials. Did you hear? Did you catch that? So it was almost like the biblical scripture that says, many are the called, but few are chosen. Yes, that's exactly how this contest goes. Many are called. Many contestants are there. Many of them are beautiful and wonderful women. But there are going to be those who Matt has to call out from the call. And so Matt has a challenge. Let me tell you, he has a challenge. But there were some impressive women. And one that I would like to talk about is a woman by the name of Abigail. And Abigail, let me tell you, she caught me by surprise, and even with Matt. She caught me, and I guess Matt, by surprise as well. Her name was, again, Abigail Herringer. And Abigail wasn't afraid to show her vulnerability. And that was one thing that Matt talked extensively about. He talked about his own vulnerability, which many men don't share, but he was open about that, and he wanted someone that could be open as well. And guess who fit that challenge? It was Abigail Herringer. Now, Abigail was nicely dressed, but remember, when you're creating a vibe, it's not just dressing well, it's an effort, and it's not just in the aesthetics, but it's in the personality. Did you hear that? It's in the personality. So even if you dress well, sometimes your personality, and most of the time your personality, has to go alongside with how you dress. And so Abigail, let me tell you what she did. She shared her vulnerability, and that was that she had trouble hearing. And let me tell you, that opened Matt up, because here it was, an attractive butterfly now sharing something with her that made her vulnerable. Let me ask you a question on tonight. What are you willing to give up about yourself in order to gain from someone else? What are you willing to give up? In terms of fashion, what are you willing to give up? Sometimes you have to give up certain things in order to gain. But nevertheless, she was able to be vulnerable. And I applaud her. And I think Matt did too, because you know what? Yes, you see it right there. She was the first to receive the first impression rose. She made such an impression on Matt that he went out of the room and came back, walked past everyone, and they saw him grab a rose and come back and deliver it to her. But secondly, there was someone that impressed me to the core. And that was a beautiful black butterfly. Yes, I said it, a beautiful black butterfly by the name of Chelsea Vaughn. Yes, Chelsea Vaughn is a beautiful black butterfly. Yes. And Chelsea impressed me because she had on, yes, you see it right there. She had on the dress from the gods. Oh my gosh. Did you hear what I said? Let me tell you, when she got out of the limousine, oh my goodness, Matt was captivated by the dress. And that dress, when he saw her, he immediately said, "You're gorgeous." Did you hear my Billy D? You're gorgeous. Yes, listen, I told you before, when I talked about dressing well, sometimes the way you dress, it will speak even before you say hello. Did you hear what I said? It spoke to Matt in every part of his being, and it spoke to me just the same way because the dress was from the gods. She was so impeccably dressed that Matt was speechless, but he did utter the words, "You are gorgeous." And let me tell you, let me ask you a question. What fashion choices are you making that are speaking for you? When you go to that interview, what fashion choices are you making that get you the job or that don't get you the job? See, again, fashion speaks, and that dress was speaking. Look at it. It's captivating. Listen, let's see what the internet had to say about that. Let's see what the internet had to say. I love to look at this. There were some things on Twitter about the dress. I'm not the only one that thought about the dress. And what does it say? Me being nosy, wanted to see the candidates, quote unquote, for this Bachelor. But Chelsea, that dress, natural beauty, is killing it already. I'm telling you, fashion speaks. Fashion is killing. She was killing. That dress was phenomenal, and she was killing it, the dress from the gods. Let's look at another one. It says, Chelsea and that dress deserve to win. Again, we've fallen in love with Chelsea because of the fashion statement and the fashion choice that she made. Let's look at another one. Best dressed in Bachelor history. Can't convince me otherwise. Ken, let me tell you, I concur with that. That dress was phenomenal. And listen, at HeSpoke Fashion, we don't want to take, we want to share everything that we can. And so we want to share exactly, there's a dress that is similar to that one that you can pick up from, I believe it was Akai. That's similar to that. Listen, we wanted to share that with you because just in case you're going to a gala, that's what you will wear to a gala. That dress is beautiful. It is wonderful. It is magnificent. And listen, I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this because I love talking about fashion. I love women's fashion, and I'm giving it to you straight, no chaser. This is how, come on, brothers, this is how we love to see women impeccably dressed, dressing well, feeling confident. And listen, I still haven't told you what Matt did. Did you catch it? Well, let's go to that now. I want to share with you just what Matt did. It was phenomenal. Did you catch it? Come on, just watch this.
My gosh. Oh, man.
Hello. What? Wait, what is it?
It looks like you got your hands full.
Is she wearing lingerie? She's not. Hello.
Hi.
It's so great to finally meet you.
Likewise.
My name is Kylie. I'm gonna give you a hug.
Hi, Kylie.
I've been sitting in my hotel room all day trying to figure out what to wear, and I realized I don't know anything about you. So, what better opportunity to figure out what you like than to ask for your opinion on what I should wear?
Oh my god, that's ballsy. Yeah, that's a word for it.
I think you'd look great in anything you wear, but I kind of like the strapless.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, like, she.
Wow. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? Let me tell you, Kaylee was a wise woman in that moment because what she did, my goddaughter's name is Kaylee, so I happen to love little Kaylee. Shout out to Kaylee, my goddaughter. But listen, Kaylee she was a wise woman in that moment. She gave Matt an opportunity to show what he wanted to see her in. That let her know what type of taste he had. And let me just share this, women. We men love it when you allow us to dress you sometimes, to give you those things that we like to see you in. Yes, sometimes you wear the things that you love to see yourself in, and we love that. But sometimes we want to dress you in what we want to wear. Come on, give me some likes, give me some hearts, give me some hand claps, some things we want to see you in. So listen, if that man wants to buy you the Louis Vuitton, go ahead and let him buy it because he wants you to have it. If he wants to buy you the Gucci, go ahead and let him buy you the Gucci because he wants to have you. And listen, if he sees the little Chanel bag or the Chanel dress or the Givenchy, let him do what he wants to do because he wants to show his fashion sense just for you. Listen, did you catch that? Did you catch what Matt did? Did you catch the decision that he made? Listen, we learned something about Matt just by the choice that he made. We'll be able to tell far before the season is over who Matt is going to give that final rose to. Listen, I'm so glad you joined us on tonight, but I don't want to leave you without sharing this story with you. I'm telling you, I just enjoy what I do. I enjoy fashion. I was in Brooklyn, New York this week, and I was working on a project. And let me tell you, I was amazed that even in a pandemic, there were lines at this store, right? There were lines at this store. And I was so impressed by that. But let me tell you, the great detail and the great efforts that go into giving you, the customer, the product. These people worked endlessly to redesign this structure, this building, just for this particular store. And let me tell you, the lines were waiting for the product for this particular brand. And I was ecstatic because just behind the scenes, so to speak. Have you ever watched a movie and you then watch afterward and it shows some behind the scenes, things that happen behind the scenes? Well, let me tell you, this was just the case. It was the behind the scenes, and I'm going to give it to you firsthand. The care that these people took in the product. And let me tell you, it's not a cheap product. It was almost as impressive as the car, the auto dealership or the vehicles Audi. And when you see their vehicles on the trucks and they're all covered and stored in this white plastic, and you're like, wow, it's very impressive how they deliver your product. Well, let me tell you, this particular brand took the effort and how they deliver the product was just so amazing. And then I was so captivated by the visual merchandisers. That team came in and they dressed the mannequins. And let me tell you, those mannequins were wearing clothes that I wanted to put on right then. Have you ever experienced that? You wanted the outfit that you wanted to wear it the same way that the mannequin was wearing it. And let me tell you, I was talking with the visual merchandisers and the buyers, and all of those were on the site at the same time. And this is the effort they put into bringing you, the customer, the product. Wow. It was phenomenal to see. And I am so privileged to be able to be a witness. And this has been my career for almost 20 years now. And I love it. I want to tell you, I applaud you in whatever you're doing. But don't take for granted when you buy that particular bag or that particular dress. Don't take for granted that it wasn't a lot of effort put into bringing that item, that product to you, the customer. It's all good in the world of fashion. Listen, I'm glad you joined us again on tonight. What fashion choices are you going to make tomorrow? Will it be something that will speak before you even say hello? I know that it will. Stay with us next week. We'll have another show for you. And that's all we have for tonight. Good night.
HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling you. HeSpoke Fashion. I'm so bad. HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling you.